Okay, so that's a very, very quick look, as I said, through the main elements of the dashboard. But before we do anything really, okay, before you start adding posts, publishing posts, adding pages, all that kind of stuff, there is one thing that you need to do, and I consider it perhaps one of the most important things. It is one of the most important things that you do, and when you've done it, you don't really want to change this. And I'll explain why later, but in simple terms, do what I'm going to show you, and then leave it and you can get on and do everything else. But before you start doing lots of other stuff or adding content or anything like that, it's really important that you make the changes that I'm about to show you. So remember that we're in settings, and then you want to come down to permalinks. So click on permalinks, and then you come to these things. Now I'm going to talk briefly about what permalinks are and why you should change them. So why are permalinks important? I know it sounds like a sort of a technical phrase, permalink, but basically permalink is your link or your URL when you publish a post. So when you publish a post, you create a URL. This is the link, and this link needs to be search engine friendly. So for example, a friendly one is, your HTTP www.mydomain.com and then the name of your post, say, my diet. That's friendly. It's friendly to the search engines because you put your sort of main keyword in there and probably in your post or whatever, and on your post title. And it's also useful to the reader. The reader knows, oh, this website has a post about my diet or whatever it is. So it's easy to read both to the reader and both to search engines. It's useful in getting your keywords ranked in the search engines, which is very important. A not friendly example is, of course, where a post is some sort of random number, like www at the bottom here, mydomainname.com, and then it's the question mark P123, which is sort of just a sort of reference to the post that you've done. So there you can see the friendly one. You want your post name to ideally follow, be readable to both humans and also search engines. This is not a friendly, what I would call not a friendly URL. So this is what we're going to do in permalinks. Now the thing is, unfortunately, WordPress default is this thing, the mydomain.com, and then this question mark P123. This is coding, and the P refers to post. It's not very useful to anybody. It's just there for coding purposes. It's not friendly to search engines. It's not friendly to a user who's kind of reading it or looking for content on the web. So this is not friendly, and we must change this. And this is what we're going to do in permalinks. So as I say, this is what we're going to do in permalinks. And you see at the top here, this is the default WordPress option that you get, the default WordPress option, which is bad, not friendly. We don't want that. What we want here is the post name. Okay, so the name of your post, and this is the coding that you put in. You can either click on you'll see on the common settings there is a title post name. You can just click that if you want. It never used to exist on WordPress, it does now. Or you could just copy what's in the custom structure, but quite frankly it's just as simple to click on the post name bit, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So this is good. This is what we want. We want to change the permalinks to something that we really want. So when it comes to search engine optimization, getting your site found in Google and search engines so that people find it for the right keywords, etc., it's generally accepted that you should have keywords or related keywords in your URL. Your URL is, of course, the link to your post, your page, or whatever it is. So it would be your domain name .com.org, whatever it slash, and then there'll be another bit, and that is basically your permalink. So the default one for a WordPress common settings is this one here. Okay, so if we go back here to the post, if I click on the post, so it comes up as a separate post, you'll see what it is. Here we are. So actually, no, the default, they've set it as the default, and this one is set as the date. Okay, so you can see the URL at the top. If we go back here, the URL is this bit. So for this post, the link to this post is my domain name / / and then you've got 2014-0207 hello world, name of the post. Okay, that in SEO terms is not very good. This one here, if I changed it to this one with the question mark P equals 123, for SEO purposes, so search engine purposes and optimization for your keywords, is not very good. Okay, a site that looks like that either. It is generally accepted to say that having keywords in your URL helps your website or your individual posts rank for the relevant terms that you're using in your website, your article. Okay, so it's a bit of a surprise actually that WordPress defaults to these, either date for a post or this question mark P equals and then a number for the post. That doesn't help anybody. So there are two settings which people tend to recommend. Okay, and I will talk through those in more detail for you. So my choice is to have the URL. We're going to go to a custom structure here. My choice is to have your URL to read as your main domain, okay, and then the name of your post. Okay, so whatever your post will be, it will come up, because you'll name your post with the relevant keywords. This is all going to make sense, and I'm going to show you what you need to write in here. This is probably the most technically fiddly bit that you need to do, but don't worry about that. It's very easy to do, and once you've done it, and it'll all make perfect sense. What we want to put in here, okay, you either have a custom structure or like this, post name. Okay, so I clicked on post name, it never used to be there, and there we go. So the custom structure I normally put in is this. I type it in, but now I notice that they offer it as a choice, and I prefer this structure, permalink structure, than the other one that I showed you. And the reason is quite simply it means that your URL is a bit shorter. That's one reason. It just looks tidier, and you'll optimize just as well for your whatever post that you're doing, whatever your blog title is, that particular blog post is, sorry. It will be SEO friendly, look really cool. And I think, really that with a category name that you can also have, as I showed you, so that it reads your domain name / category / the post name, the name of your blog post that you happen to be doing. The URL is quite long, and if you should ever want to go back and change your categories, then suddenly the links to your old posts will be lost forever. That's why ideally you do not want to ever come back and change these permalink settings once they're set, and this is why you need to do it the first thing that you do. Now this may sound all very confusing, but I'll just show you what I mean and the effect that it has. So we've done that, and then we're just going to click Save Changes. So if you should have post name that you can choose. If not, that's what it's going to look like. But if you click on the post name, then it should come up custom structure like that automatically. Okay, Save Changes. Now, if we take a look at the WordPress, remember this is the old URL up here. Can you see the old URL? If I just move this up, you can see slightly. This old URL was the date, 2014, February, 7th of February, and hello world, name of the post. Now, in theory, if I refresh this, it says not found. You see? This URL no longer exists. That's why if you go back and change your permalink structure, this is what will happen. So if we go back to the posts, which is this, hello world, this is my post. Now can you see, so here's the post that we were looking at, and look at the URL, nice and simple here, it's just your domain name and the name of the post. So if I do a post, a blog post, say my favorite 5-2 diet, it would come up here in here the title, my favorite 5-2 diet, keywords 5-2 diet, or here's a 5-2 diet for men, whatever it comes out. So every blog post you comes up, it will come up like that in there. Like this is the title of this blog post is called Hello World, and there it is in the URL. Nice and simple. And that's the structure that I prefer now. I may have taught in previous modules to have your category and then your word and then your post title, but it doesn't really make much difference other than to me I think this looks a bit tidier, and should you decide to change your category names around, you won't have that issue of the links no longer working, because you basically changed the perma structure, so the links no longer exist. I hope that makes sense. It's not too confusing, but it is quite important to get right. But just follow the simple steps that I've shown you. We'll go back to the permalinks there. All you need to do is just come to common settings and you want post name. And there's the example that they use that it would look like, sample post. And this is the structure. If that wasn't there, this is what you'd have to type in manually, but you don't have to do it. If you just click on this, it comes up perfectly. Okay, and you're done.